take this blue pill, where you'll continue to stay in your blissful fantasy of life? Or will you take this red pill, which will show you the absolute truth? Or will you take this hammer and smash your face with it? The correct answer is the hammer today, obviously. In today's news of some men will do absolutely anything except go to therapy, they'd rather punch stuff. There you go, sir. Release it. Today we're talking about a new phenomenon in the manosphere. What is the manosphere, you ask? Well, it's a place where men, no, alpha men, no, beta boy, go where they have senseis like Andrew Tate to teach them how to stop being beta and ascend to being alpha. Their alpha male sensei teaches them how to be a real man, like never cooking, never show any emotion, well, except for punching walls. And of course, my absolute favorite, paying other men $10,000 or more to roll around in the mud with, well, you guessed it, some dudes.
Hold that sledgehammer in the air, both hands. Like a bench press, like a bench press.
It's manly because they have hammers. And well, that hammer comes into play in almost all aspects of these very odd men's lives.
My mom used to take these away when I was growing up because I was just bone smashing.
Mr. Hammer, we're gonna get to your alpha male beauty tips very soon, like right now. So the boys, I mean the men, have come up with a very new cute term for their alpha male beauty routine. And it seems to be taking the manosphere by storm, and that's called looksmaxxing. And girlies, the men in this universe are always saying how women are so fake and we always have to distort our faces and get fillers. I find it very interesting that so many men in that alphaverse are doing this before they leave the house so they can look pretty for the girls and the boys.
Should we bone smash a little before we go out?
You're not very bright, are you?
The number one goal in the manosphere is to ascend above the average man. Well, you can't do that if you look like the average man, right? Stay with me now. That's where this whole looksmaxing comes in. This trend is growing in hype among boys to men that want to fix themselves.
Hello TikTok, this is indeed my official account. Mandibulus zygomitis is the name. Prepare to be mogged.
Men everywhere have been posting their looksmaxing before pictures on TikTok. You'll see a sad man with a minute stare and most likely dead inside, nothing else to live for because he looks like the average male. No jaw, no coloring, it's genetics, and according to them, it's over. Until they got that hammer. Boom! All of a sudden they've got long hair, chiseled jaw, even more chiseled Adam's apple, and still a kind of dead inside stare, but they're hot, and that's what counts. But how did they do it? The men needed to know.
How does bro fix the symmetry? How? Please, I need advice. Oh God, you look so majestic. Can you give a tiny tutorial, please?
Well, it wasn't just the hammer. No. There's a lot that goes into looksmaxing. Well, lucky for the boys, there are many men on TikTok who are giving what we know as beauty tutorials, but they're calling looksmaxing tutorials with 2 X's.
My day starts around like 2 p.m. As soon as I get up in the morning, I go to the mirror and I do whatever it takes to look better. I use makeup, I use Vaseline, I use various oils.
And there is a science to this. And I am really excited to learn because my son, Rigby, is quite small. And he is in the room with us today. No, Rigby, come on. Don't cuddle the Care Bear toy. It's pink too? Ugh. So getting educated on looksmaxing is gonna be a great benefit for me and my family, especially the beta over there. Now listen closely. Looksmaxing is actually quite scientific. When it comes to the face, facial ratios, bone structure, symmetry are all extremely perfect to be able to ascend past the peons. Hi, editing Michelle here. I just wanted to get on here and say I did not add those shark sound effects to that man's mouth. That was all Andrew. He is one of the top looksmaxers. You can tell because he's ascended so much that he's using a cheese grater on his crimson chin jaw. But what he's doing as he's wading in the water is something called sharkmaxing. It's a real thing. Yes, these men think that they are stronger and prettier than a shark. And the first thing that you're gonna wanna do to make sure to achieve this ascending nature is, well, you guessed it, the hammer, also known as bone mashing. Bone mashing is when an individual will apply trauma to their facial bones using blunt objects like hammers, or I am now learning that if you don't have a hammer, you can use a massage gun.
You guys know about bone smashing?
2 questions. Do you just keep that on you at all times? And is he just at the gym? I have been going to the gym for years, and that is a new one that I have never seen. So I was always instructed to use the massage gun via instruction manual, to only use it on things like my quads. I like to do, a little bit of shoulder action. Love it on my traps because I do a lot of back days. I use it on my booty cheeks. Never in the history of ever did I ever think to put this on my face, but I am someone who is a very open-minded and non-judgmental person. Until I try it, then I will judge it harshly. Plus, if we don't try, how are we gonna know if this man who has so many followers is just scamming a bunch of people for monetary gain? Let's power this sucker up and just... Yes! Finally! I can do what I've always wanted to.
They said men don't compete in the beauty parade, but I walked in flawless, now the rules gotta change. If looks.
But according to this group, you get to change your face the natural way instead of getting pesky surgery, probably from a man, like the women do. And it goes so much faster.
If you bone smash, obviously you get the acute swelling effects, and then it's hard to know exactly when this turns into like permanent or long-term scar tissue, but you get results fast, man.
And we all know fast results are the best results. Who cares if it's gonna damage your face when you get to around 30? You're in your early 20s now. 30 is so far off. It'll like never come.
Like the day that you start bone smashing is the day that your face changes forever.
And you will be one step further to ascending.
But wait! There's more!
You have a few more things that you have to do, like face pulling, to accelerate the goal to ascend and getting that chiseled jawline. You can bone mash and face pull at the same time. Along with the jaw being a very important proponent to ascend, so is the area right below it. So you gotta work out your neck. You gotta suck that thing in. You gotta stretch that neck all the way back. Bring that chin to your neck. Stretch that sucker out. Once you finish 20 reps and 4 sets for the first exercise, 50 reps and 4 sets for the second exercise, and 15 reps and 3 sets for the last exercise. That's more than what I do when I lift. So these men are definitely maxing it out with 2 X's. Once you're done with your workout, it's now time to hit the showers, but not for what you think. Grab those rags and get ready to towel pool. Now you stick those suckers in your mouth like a man. Hi, Editing Michelle here again. If you haven't guessed, because I didn't explain while I was explaining the video, this is towel pulling. It helps your jaw, not your teeth. Not great for it, but who the hell cares about those when you can just get veneers in your 20s and then replace them again in your 30s? Skincare is a huge proponent in the world of looksmaxxing. And the boys aren't just doing facial cleansers and chemical pills. No. They gotta max it out. They're injecting their face right at home with what they would call
the beauty pepper.
The beauty pepper, which is also known as GHKCU. Now don't worry, you don't have to inject yourself with this. If you don't inject it, that's called soft maxing. Pretty much, you're the pussy of the looksmaxxing community if you use it topically. Now, if you inject it, that's when you've maxed it out.
I will definitely put this in my top 3 stack.
Apparently injecting it into your skin will tighten your skin to the max, increase elasticity to the max, and promote hair growth to the max. Just to be clear, all of those maxes have 2 X's. Injections is a normal thing in this community. They be injecting everything everywhere.
Is there anything you do that people wouldn't know about for looksmaxxing?
I like to do a lot of injection lipolysis. I sort of max all injection.
Did he say to D-I-C-K max? Like pull down your pants, take that thing out and like inject something in it? Okay, sir, you kind of have grossed me out and piqued my interest. What you doing down there?
Inject fat dissolvers into my mons pubis. Yeah.
Okay, well that wasn't actually in my notes. That one just came up when I was looking for clips. So, dudes in the comments section, add among the long list of things we've already talked about, add dick maxing with 2 X's.
After, you know, you turn 18 and your stops developing, there's no reason to use DHT derivatives. I got into like really optimizing every single mechanism possible at around 16 or 17.
Well, once you helped out your Vegeta turn into a Goku through fat injections, it's time to put on some makeup. Like a man, not like a female, come on. All of this is manly.
Concealer, eyelash curler, and then just a little bit of eyeliner.
And makeup can take any alpha male from looking from a 6 out of 10 to a 9 out of 10 in literally seconds. I think you did it bad. I don't know, I feel like left eyebrow looks a little bit more not like a 3-year-old smash colored pencil on your face. Y'all, I just had to intervene and say, I love how the caption says, y'all, it's not that great, but like you guys can do it. I thought this was a tutorial. Y'all need to check out how the girlies be doing their eyebrow tutorials. It's very thorough. Maybe we can get a better tutorial from someone who is one of the top Looksmaxxers, because makeup is a very, very crucial point in ascending.
If you've got something called a recessed radix like me, which is this region here, a recessed nasal bridge. Mine's slightly recessed, it could be more forward grown. To make it more pronounced, you could actually do a dotted line, like something like this.
You mean contouring? The girls do it all the time.
It's not easy. And you'd rub that in.
Yeah, that's called contouring. What's next? You're gonna put it on your jaw to make your jaw look slimmer?
I'm just gonna go along here. And blend down.
And there you have it, the alpha male makeup tutorial.
You see?
Posture is very important. Always sit up, always make eye contact, and make sure to always have a dominant presence. So all of this is to make sure when you go out on the prowl for women, your competition doesn't out-mog you.
What the hell is even that?
What is out-mogging? Let's define it.
But a mog is essentially being better than someone at a certain thing.
Is this in the dictionary?
So if you're mogging someone, that usually is referring to, in its simplest form, just looking better than them.
While he was explaining that while not making eye contact, I was looking it up. It is not in the dictionary.
So mogging is essentially just, you know, outperforming them, looking better than them, and just sort of dominating, right? It came from something called AMOG, which was alpha male of the group, then it was shortened to just MOG.
And getting out-mogged gets extremely hard when you are an elder Looksmaxxer.
In this world and society, youth is always going to out-mog the elderly.
In this Looksmaxxing world, there can be a lot of scams. A lot of guys are trying to get you to buy the next best thing so that you can ascend, which is very important.
Before you stick this in your butt and ascend as a Looksmaxxer, just know that there's a much simpler solution. These Looksmaxxers are right. GHKCU can change the texture of your skin, your acne scars, your salami redness that's going on. I mean, that's what my face did used to look like, but now after like 6 weeks, I've seen the change and I didn't have to stab myself in the butt. And I'm not saying that that method doesn't work, but what they don't tell you is that there is a topical version that does the exact same thing. You just apply it every single day for about like 6 to 8 weeks and you'll still see the same results.
But that would mean that they're soft maxing. Who would want a soft max when you can hard max? So the results after all of this, well, one of them is absolutely no double chin, no matter the angle. If the goal was to make women frightened of you, buddy, you did it. This freaks me out. There are tons of men on TikTok that have been beating their faces with hammers and machine guns, and if they don't have that, their fists. And getting what many men in this community say are absolutely amazing results. This guy called Johnny Cool, I mean, with a name like that, you gotta expect him to have just an insane, amazingly maxed out face. So this is Johnny Cool before he smashed his face with a hammer, and this is Johnny Cool after he smashed his face with a hammer. I personally think he just trimmed his beard and lost some weight, got a tan, and then did his hair a different way, but who am I to fight with someone called Johnny Cool? He's got cool in his name. I don't. Apollo Green started trending among the men for his extreme Looksmaxxing makeover. Look at him. He had acne, his eyes don't shimmer like the other guys, he's got an orange peel in his mouth, no jawline, no style. What is he wearing? Pearls? What, you can't wear pearls, you gotta look max. According to him, people would make fun of him and said that he looks like the kid from Up. They called him fat. No girls talked to him until he started look maxing.
Now they will.
I love that he put "now they will" around his jawline to make sure that we notice that he has a jawline now. Honestly, if somebody called me a fat Asian loser, I would probably do the same thing. Y'all are gonna notice the jaw. Anyway, but after Apollo Green found looksmaxing, he then found self-respect. He was motivated, he had self-control, and he, the most important part, had ascended. So those are all pretty popular guys who seem to trend, or a lot of guys will ask, what did you do? Tell us. Or very simply ask for tips. No please, no nothing. That's right, because real men who want to ascend don't say please. They just ask other dudes, what's your makeup routine? Anyway, those looks maxers are all popular, but they have absolutely nothing on the daddy, the papa, the top of the top, the creme de la creme, I said that wrong, doesn't matter, of looks maxers, and that is, how the hell do I say his name? Clavicular? Like clavicle? Like a collarbone? Which is what I'm gonna call him. He is now clavicle. You remember him though. He was in the beginning talking about how his mom tried to take away his hammer.
My mom used to take these away, you know? Yeah. She had to hide them.
When I was growing up, a lot of parents had to hide the Rice Krispie treats and the fruit roll-ups from kids that would eat too many. Now parents are hiding hammers. So, is that what kids are doing these days? Parents, let me know. So let's pour one out for the parents that have to hide whole hammers so their kids won't smash their face. Anyway, that's clavicle, also known as clavicular outside of my universe. He is a 20-year-old alpha male, looks maxer, but most importantly, a man that has ascended above the rest, and at such a young age. That's right, at a ripe young age at around, I don't know, 17 or 18 or something, he started smashing his face with a hammer, but then when his mom took that away, he used his football trophy.
This is clavicular, one of the most extreme glow-ups.
Oh, I'm sorry, baseball. Football would have hurt way too much. This is him. Acne, no smile, dead-looking eyes, and the most important, a non-chiseled jawline.
You're disgusting.
Until he found hammers, his fist, injections, and probably some other stuff that I just forgot. He he morphed into clavicular. And now he's always shirtless with his bros. That's right, he has ascended. He's above you. Hey, my small percentage of boys, don't be mad at me. I'm just the messenger. Look at you sitting there on your booty cheeks, watching my YouTube video while a guy with a stage name from a bone in your neck is shirtless outside of the club with his bro. Mogging on every mother in that, well, outside the club. During that whole thing, he didn't even say anything, which is so interesting. He's so popular that even SNL made fun of him.
I'm chiseled as hell, literally chiseled.
Clavicle has gotten so popular at his ripe young age, he has aligned himself with the one and only Mr. Baldy himself, Andrew Tate. I tried to find clips of them actually being next to each other. It seems that Andrew Tate does not want to stand next to him because he's gonna get out-mogged, but Andrew Tate's brother stood next to him and he accepted his defeat pretty quickly. He looks kind of sad.
I'm not handsome like you, but it's with money. That was the thing,
bro. You fucking serious? You definitely got it. Alright. That was good talking.
I do my best. Yeah.
Aw, he called him pretty. He also hung out with Myron, the man who thinks there's absolutely no value in a man who can cook, because that won't come in handy. What skill you do need is fighting off the intruders that are coming into your house every single day.
What would you do if I couldn't cook?
You'd be single.
Can you cook?
That's irrelevant. I mean, can you fight? Let's ask pointless questions.
Anyway, he also hung out with Clavicular, and instead of being a little nervous like Andrew Tate's brother, he seemed really excited to be standing next to such a beautiful human being.
Juice man! Juice man!
Calm down, man. You guys got all night. Anyway, they had a really fun time with their all-male karaoke crew.
They don't understand the things I say on Twitter.
Apparently, Clavicular is extremely respected with these men and in this universe. And it's no wonder. He takes this looks maxing to a whole different scientific level. He pretty much maxes everything out. He height maxes. The first step to height maxing is sticking socks in your shoes, just like we used to, ladies, in middle school to give us melons.
So they're gonna compress, so. Alright. Try it. Yeah?
No way I'm actually doing this outside. I'm not doing it. It's just, holy shit, I'm way taller.
Rigby, are you listening? Okay, I'll take notes.
Let's say you height max, you get a girl, you bring her home.
What you could either do is you could wait until you're in the bed to kick your shoes off, and that way she won't be able to perceive the height.
Oh, no, that's weird.
That's not really. But if you are forced to take off your shoes for whatever reason, you can sag your pants down so that they conceal your heels, and you could tiptoe max.
Yep, that brings us to our next term, tiptoe maxing. Ladies, you know when you played ballerina when you were around 6? Well, this is a little different. These are about 20-something-year-old men standing on their tiptoes in their sneakers to assess dominance. Now that we know what tiptoe maxing is, you got a vantage point max.
You come home, right, and you have to take off your shoes. What you do is you have to set up what's called vantage points. So say this is a regular book. So you put a vantage point like here. So that way you take off the shoes, and then you go, so like rest on it, and then you set up a next vantage point like right over here, and then you just make it to the bedroom. That way you're good.
I just feel like if you didn't stuff your shoes with socks in the first place, you wouldn't have to hide your feet in your own home. Anyway, then you have to D-max. Mr. Clavicle, explain that one.
What are PDO threads?
Yeah, they're these collagen, stimulating dissolvable threads that you inject into your face to sort of lift skin or create volume.
Fillers. DIY fillers, I'm guessing. Have you guys ever heard of maybe going to a dermatologist? Someone that can do all of this for you instead of doing it at home? It sounds a little painful.
It was one of the most painful processes ever.
Did it work?
No.
But you gotta do what you gotta do if you wanna ascend. Like shoulder maxing.
All right, so here's what you're gonna do, boys.
Oh God, not him breaking out the little boob cutlets I used to stick on Tia and Tamara when I was around 13. He's gonna put them on his shoulders, isn't he?
You're about to go out. I haven't been to the gym in about 3 weeks, so hence the lack of gains. But essentially what you're gonna wanna do, fellas, is tape this to your delts so that you actually look like you have a little bit of size on you when you're like me and all you're doing is partying all the time and not lifting.
Well, if you stopped your 4 sets of hammer smashes, 5 sets of Adam's apple stretches, you might have time to work in some shoulders at least once a week.
Boom.
He has a very helpful video where he takes us through his whole Looksmaxxing morning routine. So do you have your notes out, Ricky? Are you awake? Oh, this kid's never gonna Looksmax. He's never gonna Looksmax. He's never gonna ascend. We need more. Come on, Clavicle. My boy needs all the tips. Let's go.
So let's do, all right, we got the eyelash curler.
Serious. So after the eyelash curling, he breaks out something that will define his eye, like a man.
All right, so here is what's called a waterline pen. And the idea with this is to create contrast between your sclera and your lower eyelids.
Dude, it's eyeliner.
And, that's a very subtle thing. You don't go too hard. Like, you wouldn't be able to know that I did it.
Unless you posted it on TikTok for everyone to know. Or if you got really close to your face, because you can definitely tell when people do that, because it's makeup. But at least the women can. His main audience is men, and men think that this is no makeup, when in fact, it's a lot. Anyway, we're not done with the eyes yet.
Oh, these eye drops, boys, are quite literally the biggest Looksmax that you could do, because you're creating contrast between your eye color, your skin tone, and your eyelashes.
But I do love how he's doing this basic morning routine that a lot of women most likely do, but he says it in a way that is manly.
By having a wider sclera, or even if you just didn't sleep.
He uses a lot of big words so the men won't say, oh, it's not a makeup routine. It's a man routine.
But even in your natural sclera will never be anywhere comparable to what it will be using the Lumify drops.
Tell me I'm pretty. You're pretty? Say it again!
If that's not enough for you to ascend, don't worry, you can pay this man. He has a Looksmaxxing course that will help you ascend. I'm pretty sure it's AI, but to be fair, I think if you're following this guy, I don't think you care if you put a lot of work into his Looksmaxxing course, especially because you're smashing your face with a hammer.
You've hit the gym, you've tried skincare routines, and you watch 1,000 videos on mewing.
But here's the problem. That stuff doesn't work fast enough, and most of it doesn't work at all.
Wait, so that whole list that I compiled of all your tips is a lie? Now why the hell would a TikTok man lie to me? Things just aren't like they used to be. Anyway, if you're interested in his course, since I guess all the tips on his page is a scam, you can purchase his not scam program for around $50 a month to around $3,000. So happy smashing, and I don't mean women, I mean your face. Anyway, on the topic of women, he's got tips to how to date the perfect woman.
Honestly, girls shouldn't go to school. They shouldn't go to college.
I think he took a little bit too many hits to the head there. He's slurring his words a lot. Anyway, he's one of those believers that women shouldn't get an education, and I actually have, my researchers are around Gen Z, and this seems to be very popular around the Gen Z era. And we were talking about this, and I was like, what's the Gen Z girls? What is this all about? And they said, Michelle, I am Gen Z. I have no clue what the hell this is. So it's popular with the boys. I just have to say this, if Garrett started looksmaxxing, I would leave him. I am not gonna be with a man who smashes his face with a hammer every morning and then curls his eyelashes. Anyway, Clavicular has a list of things that you need to do to make sure that you stay an ascended man. And that means making sure that your woman, or multiple women, are fit, trim, and aesthetically pleasing. That's right, you guessed it. Never date a fat woman. In fact, don't even talk to them.
She wouldn't talk to a fat girl. No, I wouldn't, even if she was the most chill ever. What?
So even though Clavicular has smashed his face with hammers, he's achieved this structured, chiseled jaw, he injected his face and his piece with who knows what. He stuffed the socks in the shoes. He ascended among every single man alive at the young age of 20. He's still extremely awkward around women.
Damn, you ladies looking good tonight.
They didn't even say anything. It would have been better if at least one even said ew, but the Clavicular wasn't even worth not even one word. And then he just kind of stood there talking to himself.
Air. Alright, no, airball, it's all good.
And it seems like when he does talk to a girl, they're kind of disgusted.
What, my breath's bad? Need more. Yeah. Is that bad?
You had to give him some gum because apparently it was that bad. But I do have a question. How does a man who spends so much time in the mirror forget to just brush his teeth? I'm telling you, too many hits to the head, you're gonna forget stuff.
I just want to help you out. I'm not trying to be fake.
Chat, now we know what's wrong with our Riz.
Riz, for the people who don't know, is like swag. And yeah, I have to agree, if you have bad breath, it will ruin your Riz and or swag.
Hello.
It just feels like he's always getting rejected.
You wanna go up to my room? What?
Like they either get grossed out once he opens his mouth.
You're Albanian?
Yes, you know Albania.
So technically, chat, she's like basically a black chick. If I fuck her, is that my black belt?
Bye.
It just seems like a lot of times when he talks to women, when he opens his mouth, they're grossed out by his breath or the words that are coming out. If he can even talk to them, usually they just walk away.
I love those tattoos. I like your tattoos.
And then this chick just quickly skedaddles away. And then he kind of just sits there all hunched over, not great posture, and complains about being in the highest percentile on, I don't know, TikTok or whatever Looksmaxxing site that he's on. But he still can't an average chick, or in his words, an NPC.
So I'm literally a top 0.0000001% SMB, and I literally can't get an MTV to give me the time of day. Like, it's f***ing over, bro. It's literally fucking over.
To be fair, he doesn't really do this for the girls. He does all of this for the bros, especially the chat. If his chat doesn't like the girl he brought home for the day, he'll send her on home.
My stream really doesn't like you.
Okay, I'm just gonna come in here one more time. I just had to ask, is that the boomafoo on his couch? You know what? Never mind. Go ahead, Clavicle.
My stream really doesn't like you, I guess.
I can go. I don't want them to be like.
I was gonna say, you could just, go real quick and send you on your way.
Look at the way he's sitting. First of all, the size of his calves. I am not body positive. I will shame these type of men.
Cheeser legs, Minecraft skeleton legs. Guys, I don't think I've trained legs in a year.
Well, brother, time to slap some of those chicken cutlet bras on your calves, man. But just the stature, the way he's sitting, his calves are noodles, he has bad breath, he stuffs his shoes with socks. Excuse you, the way that I would flick this man straight out the window and watch as he descends. You know what they say, every time an alpha male or looksmaxxer descends, a female ascends. Anyway, he does it for the bros, and he also talks about his very, lacking social skills.
Yeah, because my social skills are quite dog shit. So sometimes it's just like, I kind of need to, unfortunately, drug max to be able to fit into like the neurotypical world, I would say.
And drug max he would. In fact, he would max out on drugs so hard that he would pass out recently on stream. I'm not going to include the video because I feel like I'm already pushing it, showing men smash hammers on their face. Many people were saying he's done, that's it, it's over. But you know what? This isn't the thing that ended him. No. We're gonna get to that in a second. A little bit of too much drugs couldn't keep this man down. But don't worry, within 24 hours after he OD'd, he was out of the hospital and back in the club, lip singing, dog in hand. So as you can see, it's not all fun and games when it comes to looksmaxxing. As you can see, there are a lot of risks, especially because a lot of these men want to ascend as fast as possible. And we know when we're not in the manosphere that just because something comes quick doesn't mean it was good, right, ladies?
Why would I work out as a natural, take years to make the progress that I can make in months? I'm taking testosterone every single day, and what I did was I took something called an aromatase inhibitor.
And as you can guess, doing a lot of these looksmaxxing methods can cause some everlasting issues physically.
They cause problems for brain development.
Probably one of the reasons why he was slurring his words a lot.
They cause problems for bone growth.
Well, they cancel that one out with the hammers. Ugh.
They cause a ton of cardiovascular downstream effects.
What the fuck does that mean? These guys don't do cardio. They don't even lift weights on their legs. They're barely doing shoulders. Their shoulder day is slapping a boob cutlet on their lateral deltoid and then turning on their camera and asking their stream, hey, is this girl pretty enough for me? If she's not, I'll throw her out like a man. Mr. Clavicle's health is always being talked about. People think that he is actually like his whole face, all of the stuff that he's doing to his face, that his whole body is just deteriorating.
Is it true that you're deteriorating? Is it true that you're deteriorating?
People are coming to this conclusion probably because his body drastically changes, as he said that he uses, well, a certain type of drug that rhymes with Bristol Beth to get lean.
It's not good. It's not good. This is, my arms are literally like probably 14 inches right now. This is so bad. Bro looks like a girl. Okay, relax. I'm lean, that's all that matters.
I see this guy trending all the time. A lot of girls love to make fun of him. I do like that. I think both genders like to make fun of this guy. Outside of the manosphere, it's weird, right? To the normal people watching, I like to think that we're generally normal here in my universe. If I walked outside and saw someone smashing their head with a hammer, I'd probably walk back inside. But in this universe, it's totally normal. But I did see it kind of shift when he got hospitalized while within those 24 hours. Many people started feeling really sorry for him because he is quite young, and getting into social media and being this so high on the totem pole, especially in the manosphere, can be a lot. Let's be real, his brain is still developing. He's 20. He's young and dumb, and even dumber because he's in the manosphere. So many people were saying, I hope he finds, happiness. I hope he really gets himself together, because this cannot be a way to live. To be so into your looks every single moment to the point that you'll smash yourself with a hammer and inject yourself and your penis with anything. And I completely understand that, yeah, it's sad for someone to be so into their looks, but I also don't think he's that great of a person. This guy's been arrested multiple times. Drug possession, we kind of figured that. Fake IDs, and multiple reports that he's a little violent. There's allegations. He shot an alligator on his live stream, which means he was super proud of it. So I do have to ask, what the hell does an alligator have to do with looksmaxxing? I thought you were trying to teach the young boys how to ascend. Anyway, he is extremely insecure and socially awkward, and he knows this. So tell me why this boy who smashes his head with hammers decided to get interviewed on 60 Minutes Australia by someone who doesn't smash his head with hammers.
You could mog someone, and you could height mog them, you could be taller. So it typically means like outshining someone in some regard.
Are you mugging me right now?
Well, in what metric?
Any?
Status mogging.
He's just so awkward.
You mean by that?
I mean, like I might be status mogging you, maybe.
You don't know? This is your terminology. I thought he would be a little bit more educated on his own course that he charges up to $3,000 for. Anyway, the funniest part of the interview was when the interviewer said, you aligned yourself with that incel community like Andrew Tate and all the other losers that I can't remember their names right now.
Was born out of the incel community and movement. And Do you identify with that group?
He just sits there and looks awkward. He doesn't know how to answer a really basic question. And so the interviewer has to keep asking, like in different ways until it kind of clicks in his head.
How do you feel about being linked to that group of people?
Nothing going on in there, huh? I don't mean to be extremely rude in this time where he's gonna be really embarrassed a lot, but does his chin look a little soft there? Like, I thought you were supposed to have like a completely chiseled jawline at every single moment. Anyway, he tries to deflect the question.
Do I identify as an incel? I mean, how could you ask me that question?
Anyway, he's really upset about this specific question for some reason. I'm not too sure. He had a girl on his stream and said, guys, do you like this girl or should I like kick her out? I'll her first, but I'll kick her out. She, you know, that's the only reason why she's here. And then he's gonna get mad if a reporter asks him if he identifies as an incel. Anyway, he continues to get mad, but in the most monotoned, boring way possible.
I mean, that's quite literally the worst sequence of questions I think I've ever heard.
Well, let me rephrase it then.
That was like the fourth time he had to rephrase it, but that's okay. You know, sometimes we're a little slower with things. I remember my math teacher had to rephrase things when it came to equations multiple times. It doesn't matter if this is something that he's been doing for years and that people have been aligning him with the incel community for years. This reporter was here to get the answer and he wasn't gonna let it go.
Looksmaxxing was obviously a term created by the incel community. How do you feel about being linked to that group?
I'm not linked to that group in any way.
Come on. Clavicular goes on and says, Looksmaxxing has nothing to do with that community at all. It's the complete opposite. In fact,
Potentially even ascending out of that category. So that would be kind of one of the goals.
so he goes on and says, like, this is just the complete opposite. And he tries to explain it. But, you know, when you hit yourself too many times in the head with a hammer, it's a little hard to explain things. And the whole time the interviewer's kind of looking at him like, you know, you're stupid, huh?
Is to disassociate from being an incel and overcome that. So that doesn't make sense.
Yep, that face right there is pretty much the face the reporter did the whole time. And I have to say, Mr. Clavicle, I think he outmogged you. And I think this guy's like in his 40s. I don't even think he was trying to outmog you. He just did, naturally. I think he ascended above every single Looksmaxxer, and he didn't even have to punch himself in the face with his fist, or a hammer, or a massage gun. Also, he's got a lot of points because he can speak.
You've obviously shared company with Andrew Tate and other, dare I say, rather controversial figures.
And once the reporter brought up Andrew Tate, Mr. Clavicle was not too happy about that.
Spend time with people like that.
Are you trying to, I see you want to make this political.
Political or not, if someone asked me if I align myself with these certain people who have said some horrible things, I would straight up easily be able to answer. But you can tell that this fool can't do that because if he speaks against Andrew Tate, you know, all the greats, his little 20-year-old behind's gonna get thrown out of the community. No more karaoke boy nights, no more helping them fill their shoes with socks so they're taller, no more tutorials on how to hide your feet in your own house. Nope, he'd be gone because this community is full of incel. By the way, I might censor out the word incel because I talked about it a lot in another video and it said that it's a word that I can't say. Anyway, he gets really upset by this question. He never answers.
Not at all, not at all. I'm just curious.
No, that's what you want to do. Is
no.
You know you have
not at all, not at all, not at all. I'm not.
You want to end
at
it
all doing that.
and talk about.
Well, I'm just curious.
And when the interviewer kept asking him, can you just answer the question? Because I'm very interested on why you align yourself with these types of men. Instead of answering the question, he deflects with a comment that I see in these manosphere comment sections all the time.
Too bad I didn't have time to look into, you know, anything about potentially, you know, who your wife cheated with.
Finding a mate is one of the biggest goals for these dudes. Of course, you want to cheat on her and everything, but the biggest downfall of a guy is if a woman cheats on him. The funny thing about this, though, is that Mr. Clavicular didn't do his homework when it comes to this interviewer.
I'm not married, Clav, but I was simply only asking because obviously you've been filmed with these people.
He's not even married, but they do this all the time. They'll either insult you for being single, or they'll say, your wife cheated on you. Anyway, when that didn't work, he runs away like a man.
Maybe you could switch that up. But thanks for the time. Appreciate the interview. All right.
And it's so funny because it's just so quiet. They don't have any background music. They don't do sound effects. It's just straight interview. And so he has to walk the walk of shame, and he has to get his microphone unmiked while the interview just sits there and moggs him up, baby.
Alright, that's that done? Yes.
He's really not even trying. He just keeps ascending. Anyway, that is Looksmaxxing and the leader of it all. So I will ask you again, will you take the blue pill, the red pill, or this hammer? What, baby?
No! Cause baby, I ascended. I flew to the top of the bar right now. Cause baby, I'm maxing. I'm maxing out.